Hey YouTube. Question was comment or posted in one of my videos a while ago asking me to break down the cheapest sources of protein available by gram, or maybe I imagined it was by gram. So what I did on one of my days off or after the gym is I just went to the local Save-On, which is, you know, Safeway, Save-On, Sobeys, all the same kind of thing. Grabbed everything that I could find was on sale over the course of a couple of days, and then broke it down with the highest protein content foods that I could find, broken down by pennies per gram of protein. Does that make sense? So like you go to buy ground beef and it's whatever, like $23.12 per kilo or whatever that is per pound. You're like, well, how many cents per gram is that? I want to know what's cheap. So I did that for you. So I broke it down on a night shift where I had a break, and I just went on Excel and did it. So I've got some vegetarian, vegan, and mostly omnivore sources of protein. I am an omnivore. Most of us are omnivores, but I do have a couple vegetarian and vegan options here. So I have 11, starting from the top down. Now, granted, I live in the Greater Vancouver area, British Columbia, Canada. So this may change depending on if you're in a different province, if you're in a different country, right? However, when I get to the bottom, when I get to the bottom, like 3 or 4, it's almost a universal, no matter where you are, that it's going to be about the same price. So one that I took that was the highest protein source fish that I could find, which will suit omnivores, sorry vegans, is sole. All right, sole's a type of fish. It's low fat, high protein, and it comes out to about 10.03 cents per gram of protein. Not the cheapest source of protein on the market. However, after a while, you get tired of chicken, beef, turkey, eggs, whatnot. Maybe you want a little bit of fish. Fish is a good source of protein. However, it's not the cheapest. I don't know why. I live by the Pacific Ocean. Why is it so expensive to get fish? Even salmon. Where I come from, you can like throw a rock and kill a salmon and just go and grab the goddamn thing, and it's not that cheap. Ridiculous. Next is ground chicken. Ground chicken comes down to about 9.5 cents per gram. Okay, so that's pretty goddamn cheap, but it's not that cheap if you think about it. 9.5%. This is for extra lean ground chicken, so all the fat's been removed. So it's just a high protein source, low calorie. 9.5 cents per gram. Ground turkey comes out to 8.54 cents per gram. We're getting cheaper and cheaper as we go. Ground turkey, nice lean, high protein source. Ground beef, 7.12 cents per gram. Right, now that's for regular ground beef, so it's going to be a high fat content. So you're going to get high protein, but you're also going to get a high fat with that. And because of that, it is cheaper. So that's 7.12 cents per gram of ground beef. A little tip for ground beef. Wash off the fat that you don't want. If you take ground beef and you rinse it out, it's a painstakingly annoying process of rubbing all the fat off of ground beef before you cook it, or cooking it and then draining all of the fat out and like rinsing it out. But it's a way to save money if you don't want to buy extra lean for the extra price. Next is tofu, believe it or not. Tofu, being a vegan source, comes out to 6.71 cents per gram of protein. I found a high protein, I found high protein tofu at my local Save-On, which I didn't really know was a thing. Like normally you see just tofu, but this one was specifically marketed as high protein tofu. And it was actually the cheapest source too. The cheapest tofu was also the one that was marketed as high protein. Go figure. Tofu, 6.71 cents. How much tofu do I eat? Surprisingly, a lot of tofu. You might think that on my channel I don't talk a lot about vegetarian veganism or anything like that because I don't want to get involved in any of that ridiculous discussion. I don't give a shit what you eat. Don't tell me what to eat. I won't tell you what to eat. However, I do actually eat tofu because it is a pretty cheap source, and I do like to rotate the types of protein in my diet, which I highly recommend you guys do as well. Greek yogurt, which is delicious. Flavored, unflavored, whatever you want to do. What I like to do, Greek yogurt, mix in your own protein powder and flavor it yourself. But that's not the point of this. Greek yogurt comes out to 6.4 cents per gram. So we're getting really cheap as we go down. 6.4 cents per gram. You know, it's an great source of protein. You can get high-fat Greek yogurt, low-fat Greek yogurt. You can get flavored, unflavored. So you got a lot of variety that you can do with your Greek yogurt. You don't even have to flavor it yourself. Cottage cheese is 5.54 cents per gram. I hate cottage cheese. When I was a student, I ate it because it was always on sale and it was cheap. I can't stand it. It like the flavor and the consistency. It felt like eating granulated body fat. Like I would be eating it and I just think of like eating body fat. It's like, oh my god, this tastes like shit and it feels like shit. But I ate it because it was cheap. 5.54 cents per gram of cottage cheese. I could never get myself to like it. Some people are like, oh yeah, I learned to like beer. And I'm like, I don't know how you learn to like beer. It's the greatest thing on earth. I can never teach myself to like cottage cheese, so I just stopped eating it, especially once I started making money. Next, tuna. Everybody loves them some tuna. 4.96 cents per gram. That's getting pretty cheap. That's under 5 cents per gram for a can of tuna. I recommend that. I mean, it's all the same kind of stuff. You know, you can buy the expensive tuna. Just buy whatever's on sale. Look for the, dolphin friendly, because tuna are stupid animals and we don't care about them, and they're delicious. But dolphins communicate, so we're not going to eat them. We're going to eat the stupid tuna instead. Yeah, 5.54, no, hang on, 4.96 cents per gram with tuna. If you're worried about mercury with tuna, you can eat a can of tuna a day and stay under that mercury level. Doubling up on that amount of tuna, I wouldn't do it on a regular basis, but it can also be done short term. So tuna, you want to make a tuna, although a can of tuna is a lot of tuna, guys. I mean, that one can of tuna is going to have, probably 25, 26 grams of protein. So yeah, at like $1.29 per can. So it's pretty good. Next is eggs. Oh my God, eggs. I love eggs. I hope you love eggs too. So 3.76 cents per gram of protein with eggs. Now that's considering buying a 30 pack of eggs. And it's just the regular, like, Save-On, Safeway, Sobeys brand eggs. It's not the expensive, like, Omega infused or any of that stuff or whatnot. It's just 30 eggs, right? At 3.76 cents per gram. It's pretty goddamn cheap, boys. That is, boys and girls. There's that sexism again on my channel. It's pretty cheap. Next, and these ones are so close, it's almost like, and depending on where you are, will determine which one actually will be the cheaper source. However, whey protein. All right, the way I figured this one out, I know, fuck you, Mark. Shut up. Go on with the the video. Whey protein, 3.68 cents per gram of protein. Probably one of the cheapest sources of protein available, because it's just pure protein. Whey is a derivative of making cheese, curds and whey. You ever heard that? The way they used to throw it away. There's so many protein puns going on right now in one video. It's amazing. Then they found out that, oh my God, this is a super dense protein source. Why are we throwing this away? They dried it, they'd flavor it, they'd market it. It's brilliant. Whey protein tends to be micronutrient deficient, but macronutrient heavy. That's why it's so high in protein. So 3.68 cents per gram. Next is milk. And milk comes to 3.4 cents per gram of protein. Milk obviously infused with like vitamin D, high in calcium, high in some certain vitamins and minerals. Now milk, depending on what province you are in Canada, can change drastically in price. So a 4-liter jug of milk, or basically a gallon, I guess you'd call it a gallon of milk, but a 4-liter jug of milk in BC here is $4.89. I know some provinces that it's like $11 for a jug of milk, so that's going to change that. Obviously, it's going to double or triple the price per gram, but because milk's so cheap in BC, it's 3.4 cents per gram of protein. So that makes it the cheapest source of protein that I can get here in British Columbia at my local grocery store. So whey and milk, right then and there, like there's 0.28 of a cents difference between them, which is just goddamn negligible. But then again, when milk all of a sudden doubles in price, then whey is by far the cheapest, pound for pound, penny for penny source of protein on the market, period. So all those guys that are out there turning around and saying like, oh, buy protein, it's the best source. Or sorry, it's the cheapest source and most efficient. They are correct. It is the cheapest source of protein. It is one of the most efficient bioavailable sources of protein, but it is micronutrient deficient, generally speaking. Very micronutrient deficient. So that's why you want to vary your protein sources. Technically speaking, yeah, you can get all your protein from whey. I wouldn't recommend it though. There's a lot of good stuff in steak, beef, tofu, eggs, milk, Greek yogurt that are micronutrients that your body needs, right? So don't just rely on whey. Good rule of thumb: a third of your protein sources in a day can be from whey without really sacrificing too many micronutrients. So that's like a scoop or two, depending on who you are. So starting with fish all the way down to basically eggs, milk, and whey. I'm going to assume that eggs and whey are going to be relatively close depending on what province or state you're in. I'm sorry if that's incorrect. Correct me in the comments down below. But that's it, guys. Let's go back one more time. Sole, 10.03 cents per gram. Ground chicken, extra lean ground chicken, 9.5 cents per gram. Ground turkey, 8.54 cents per gram. Ground beef, 7.12 cents per gram. Tofu, 6.71 cents per gram. Greek yogurt, 6.4 cents per gram. Cottage cheese, 5.54 cents per gram. Tuna, 4.96 cents per gram. Eggs, 3.76. Whey, 3.68, and milk 3.4 cents per gram. So you can get your daily protein requirement for cheap, guys, if you need to. You don't have to be just buying ground chicken all the time. You see how cheap it is to throw eggs, milk, whey powder, tuna, cottage cheese in your diet. Save some money. Don't break the bank trying to meet your protein needs. I was a student when I started this whole endeavor to try and become fit. And, you know, a high protein diet can be expensive if you're not searching out deals. And yeah, sometimes you might be eating a lot of eggs. Sometimes you might be eating a lot of cottage cheese because that was what it's on sale. But just know that those are your cheapest sources broken down per gram. Hope you guys like the video. I'm recording this on a new 1080p HD camera because my old one was busted. Let me know if this works out, if it's better. I was using my iPhone before. The front camera sucks. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit more like defined with this camera. The lighting's not great right now because it's midday, but let me know if it looks better than my other videos. I'm going to be using it probably from now on regardless. So yeah, questions and comments down below, guys, and as always, eat like a bodybuilder and train like a powerlifter.